is a very special moment for me because I would say that I have two celebrities today with me. They are my students, and when they came to visit me today, it was an idea that why shouldn't I just talk to them and share this experience of my two very dear students who are there in the industry doing very well for themselves, rocking, setting examples. So I thought that there would be many students out there who would want to know that presently those who are wanting to do media, those who are wanting to explore media, and I'm saying media overall, what is happening really on the ground, how they should prepare themselves. And as everybody says that, media is the fourth pillar of our society, and I think that will always remain. It's a very popular medium of communication, and hence today I have with me Brian. So this is Brian, my student, and Brian is presently principal correspondent at a very popular news channel, and I have Hemraj Ali with me, and he is also editor at a very popular news portal. I would want them to introduce themselves and tell where they are working, what they are doing, and then we'll explore further. Brian, over to you.
So thankfully it's been a privilege for me rather to be sitting with my former HOD and the Dean itself, Minal ma'am. It's an honor. And yes, I am working with a news channel called India News and Newsx. It's a national channel. And I'm working as a principal correspondent here. I cover defense and I cover the Ministry of External Affairs.
And Hemraj, हिंदी में बोल सकते हो, not a problem.
तो हेलो एवरीवन, मेरा नाम हेमराज अली है. मैं अभी इंडियन एक्सप्रेस में एज अ वीडियो एडिटर काम कर रहा हूँ. मेरा इंडस्ट्री में 2 साल करीब होने चला है. तो मैं मतलब प्रिंसिपली आप अगर मुझे पूछे तो मैं यही बोलूँगा कि मैं स्पोर्ट्स कवर करता हूँ एंड पॉलिटिकल. ये मेरा मेन जॉनर है. एंड बाकी तो वो न्यूज़ में है तो वो हर चीज़ करना पड़ता है सिचुएशन के अनुसार.
Okay, Brian, I want to ask you, like you did your masters from here and you were the brainchild behind the SNU Chronicle which we see today, and you developed that, and we are still carrying the baby with us, with your juniors now. So from student life to today being one of the popular journalists, in fact the face of the channel, how this whole journey has been for you, because I'm sure staying away from home, not getting food for days, unpaid internships, not getting paid that well in the beginning of your career, but today you stand there as the face of the channel. So if, in few words, if you could just share your journey with us.
Surely ma'am. It's been a roller coaster. Like I feel everyone's journey holds a story that one wants to express in words. Rather they cannot. But yes, clearly if you talk about my journey from here, then I've been to Punjab. I was there for a while there. Then from there I moved to Delhi. I started with Incredible India. Then I went for Indian Express. I was there working as a sub-editor and then transitioned to TV. Clearly it was a very weird journey. But again, SNU helped me shape myself in a way that no one could. I had the best of faculty who shaped me to be better. I had a lot of questions. There was SNU Chronicle that we all came together to form it, and I feel that was one of the key moments that helped me grow in a way that not a lot of people had that prospect that I was very fortunate enough to have. That I got my support from my my professors, be it Minal ma'am, be it Namashi sir, even to the fact that I was very skeptical to speak also. One very small anecdote that I would like to share, that I got an opportunity in SNU itself to interview Ruskin Bond. That was my first ever big interview, rather first ever interview, and it was a big one. I know I was not up to the mark, but they thought that I had the capability to do it. And that was one such moment that made me foray into journalism. Then I went into Incredible India, that was in magazine. Then I went to newspaper, I used to write for newspaper, and then obviously I wanted to transition into TV. But yes, life outside your home place, your comfort zone, because Calcutta, Kolkata has always been our home place, our comfort zone, and even SNU for that fact was is still now our comfort zone, and we had to leave that comfort zone to explore ourselves, that this is what we are capable enough to do it, and we did that. I did it, many other students, Hemraj is with me, he also did it. We went out of our way, we went to Delhi, we transitioned our life. It was different, it was weird, it was difficult, there were challenges there, but again, it was there. We held ourselves because we were built in a way that we could fight with ourselves, we could fight with the industry, and we could prove ourselves that yes, we are there and we are a part of the industry. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and I think we had been, a very tough police with all of you. So there were times when you were like, okay, our limits are being pushed.
Yeah.
So do you think that helped you in some way? The way, I don't know what, I've never been to a military training, but I think that media training is so much inside here. So that is what we try to do. Do you think that, that helped you in some way to face these adverse situations?
Clearly, and because of the fact that time there was COVID also.
Yes.
So in a way there was a lot of going on in our personal life. There was a lot of mental health topic was also at a high level, but still we transitioned into the media industry. We learned a lot during COVID because everything was closed. There was social distancing that was there. We were still exploring ourselves. We were doing online classes. We were doing online workshops. And at that point of time when the world was stopped, nothing was happening, we were exploring ourselves, be it via online class, be it via online interviews. We were doing all of that via SNU Chronicle. That was that umbrella that helped us grow a lot better into that industry, because a lot of people missed out on a lot of opportunities during the COVID time that it was there. But we did not lose it because our professors were always pushing us, you do that. They got the industry to us. There were many channels that were coming. They were doing their seminars, they were doing their workshops there, and that helped us become better in our respective journeys, and that clearly shaped us into the fact that we know.
I think we just probably thread became an opportunity
for
us. And Hemraj, I remember Hemraj as someone who just saw what to say, I don't know the word, in one direction. Hemraj would just look straight. So if you tell Hemraj look right and left, Hemraj would not do that, which we thought was an hindrance, but I think that is what helped him, because he knew that he had to do it, and he did it. So Hemraj was one student who, trust me, we never thought that he's going to reach so far, because he took time to learn. But then we saw that when he learned, he was a full-grown child. Hemraj, even Bryan, they were so active in International Kolkata Book Fair. In fact, Bryan was initially, it was his concept how to develop the stories at IKBF, then preparing this whole team, preparing this SNU Chronicle. And then with Hemraj was the one who was given the camera, and he was just told to go inside the crowd like a bull and just take the shots. And that is when probably Hemraj realized that this is his strength. So Hemraj was on top of a building, he was hanging somewhere, and then he was taking the shot, best shots. He started his journey with our digital platform, that is aajkal.in. Very, very smart. We never expected that Hemraj is going to be this intelligent and smart, trust me. But today when we see him, I think it's an example for all those children who are coming from district area, who think that, if you cannot talk in English, you cannot reach a place. And Hemraj is an example. So, Hemraj, you tell me that, you are not very good with communication, but does that stop you from doing good work? And the kind of work that you're doing at Indian Express, what kind of editing you're doing, what kind of work that you're doing, and how this whole Kolkata Book Fair, your aajkal.in journey, helped you to actually grab this opportunity.
थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू फॉर दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी. मैं सबसे पहले यही बोलना चाहूँगा कि मैं जब मतलब कॉलेज ज्वाइन किया था मैंने, तो तब मैं मतलब इतना ज़्यादा ये इंटरेस्टेड नहीं था कि मतलब मैं सबसे मतलब ये इंटरेस्टेड नहीं बोलूँगा, मैं कंफ्यूज था कि मुझे करना क्या है। मुझे अपना स्ट्रेंथ पता नहीं था। तो उस टाइम पे मुझे सपोर्ट करने के लिए मेरे प्रोफेसर्स मेरे साथ थे, तो मेरे प्रोफेसर्स ने मुझे बहुत सपोर्ट किया था। एंड उसके बाद मेरा मतलब हम लोगों का जब बैच शुरू हुआ था तब कोविड का टाइम था, तो ऑनलाइन क्लासेस होते नहीं थे। हम लोग अकेले आते थे यहाँ पे काम होता था, थोड़ा बहुत कैमरा का इधर उधर का हम लोग देखते थे, लेकिन हम लोग को वो अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिलता था। फिर एक ये आया जहाँ पे एसएनयू क्रॉनिकल खुला, तो एसएनयू क्रॉनिकल की वजह से हम लोगों को बहुत जगह पे जाने का चांसेस मिला, कवर करने का चांसेस मिला। तो उससे हम लोग को एक एक्सपीरियंस हुआ कि फील्ड वर्क क्या होता है। तो उससे हम लोग को फिर हम लोग शूट करके आते थे, हम लोग जाते थे, दोस्त लोग ही जाते थे, हम लोग कुछ मिलके एक साथ एक टीम बना के जाते थे, वहाँ पे शूट करते थे, वापस आते थे, हम लोग उसको फिर एडिट करके हम लोग ही पूरा प्रोडक्शन देखते थे। तो वो एक मतलब पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस है कि कैसे आपको फील्ड में काम करना है।
फिर तुमको कैसे लगता था कि भाई कोई भी अपॉर्चुनिटी हो, कितनी भी भीड़ हो, मुझे कैमरा लेके घुस जाना है? सब तो ये नहीं कर पाते, तो क्या क्या चलता था तुम्हारे दिमाग में?
मैम जब मैं मतलब कैमरा लेके जाता था तो मुझे एक चीज़ पता था कि कुछ भी हो, मुझे अगर मैं मतलब वापस ऑफिस में आऊँगा, मुझसे ये नहीं पूछा जाएगा कि क्राउड था कि क्या था, मुझसे ये पूछा जाएगा कि तुम शॉर्ट्स कहाँ पे है, तुमको मैंने भेजा तो तुम मतलब क्या लाए हो, तो ये चीज़ बोला जाता है।
एग्जैक्टली, दिस इज व्हाट, लाइक दिस इज द लर्निंग दैट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे व्हाट यू डिलीवर ऑन टेबल इज समथिंग दैट इज।
हाँ मैम, वही इम्पोर्टेंट है। तो मैं इस चीज़ के लिए एसएनयू को बहुत मतलब थैंक यू बोलना चाहूँगा कि एसएनयू ने मुझे वो चीज़ सिखाया है कि मतलब अगर आज मैं इंडस्ट्री में हूँ, तो आज मैं अगर कहीं पे कैमरा लेके जाता हूँ तो मुझे ऑफिस ये नहीं बोलता कि तुम वहाँ पे भीड़ था कि क्या सिचुएशन था। जैसे मैं एक अपना पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करना चाहूँगा। 2024 में लोकसभा इलेक्शन हुआ था, तो मैंने एक पीएम का रैली कवर किया था। तो पीएम का रैली है, वहाँ पे एक तो बहुत ज़्यादा सिक्योरिटी होता है, एंड उसके बाद मतलब सिक्योरिटी है तो वहाँ पे आपको एंटर करने को नहीं मिलेगा। तो उस टाइम पे आप मतलब कैसे एंटर कर रहे हैं, वहाँ पे कैसे शॉट्स ले रहे हैं, लोगों का बाइट्स कैसे ले रहे हैं, वहाँ पे बहुत टाइप के लोग होते हैं। एंड मेरा तो सबसे बड़ा यही चैलेंज था कि मैं कोलकाता से बिलोंग मतलब वेस्ट बंगाल से बिलोंग करता हूँ, एंड मैं नोएडा गया हूँ, दिल्ली गया हूँ, दिल्ली में जाके मेरा पूरा नया शहर है वो, तो वो मेरे लिए बहुत ज़्यादा चैलेंजिंग था। एंड सबसे बड़ी बात है कि मैंने उससे पहले कभी नेशनल मीडिया में काम नहीं किया है, मेरा वो नेशनल मीडिया था पहली बार। एंड उसके बाद मतलब उससे पहले मैंने आजकल में काम किया है। आजकल मेरे लिए मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा हेल्प किया है, मतलब मतलब मुझे एक अच्छा सा बेस, मतलब मैं काम आज कर रहा हूँ तो मैं बोलूँगा कि मैं आजकल में वो काम सीखा हूँ। आजकल ने मुझे वो अपॉर्चुनिटी दिया है कि मैं आज मतलब बाहर जाके एक इंडस्ट्री में काम कर पा रहा हूँ। मेरा एडिटर मतलब मेरे
तुम्हारा एक टारगेट रहता था कि भाई हेमराज मुझे किंतु लेकिन दिन का 35 से 40 पैकेज चाहिए, तो हेमराज को पता है उसका टारगेट है 40 पैकेज उसको देना है। तो वो उसको जिस तरीके से एडिट करना है, 10 घंटा 12 घंटा 4 घंटा,
वो मेरे ऊपर
टारगेट बेस्ड काम हेमराज ने बहुत अच्छा किया है। टारगेट दे दो एंड हेमराज काम कर लेता है। एंड आई थिंक इंडस्ट्री में
ये चीज़ बहुत हेल्प करता है मुझे। मतलब मैं वहाँ पे जाके मेरा यही चीज़ सबसे ज़्यादा मतलब सबको पसंद आता है कि मैं स्पीड में काम कर सकता हूँ। एंड न्यूज़ में स्पीड बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, ये मैं मतलब ये सीखा है मैंने ये चीज।
Exactly. Then now Brian, I want to ask you that you have covered Operation Sindoor, which is one of talk of the town. So how does it feel like after covering the biggest event of the country, your experience as an ace journalist, and also with the experience that so much of fake news is floating? You carry so much of responsibility on your shoulder as a journalist. So how do you draw that balance with also people talking so much about how Indian media has been faking information, has been loudly claiming so many things, so and also like it's too much now that media is sold out, fake journalism, yellow journalism. But as a journalist myself, I know that when you're in the shoes of a journalist, I think your heart is always corrected, whatever it might be. And I think at this platform, I would just want to hear from you as a journalist.
There were two wars that was going on at that point of time. One where our defense forces were fighting, and one that we were supposed to fight. Clearly, Indian media, there's a big responsibility that Indian media plays to present stories in a way that is filtered to the extent that it is not fake and it is right. Because when a normal commoner, when a normal average person sees a news or a fact, that they tend to believe what is going on, because news is that source of information that you get. But to the fact that Indian media also, most Indian media, I won't say all, most Indian media somewhere down the line, because of TRP race, because of sensationalization, they tend to differ and deviate from what was actually going on. Yes, there was a lot of fake information, yellow journalism going on. Many news were floating at that point of time, and both sides, be it our side or the enemy side, there was a lot of fake information going on. But again, to the fact, one thing I'll put it out, I look after defense, my beat is defense. Our defense forces played a very important role in verifying and also in putting us in a way that needs to be understood in a proper balanced way. They gave us advisory. A media advisory was given to all the channels that you should be airing this verified information. You should verify with the MOD, that is the Ministry of Defense headquarters, everything that is going on. If there was any unverified information, it was taken down. Yes, there were many news channels that was airing unverified information, and it was taken down also. Many channels apologized itself that yes, when they were airing some fake news or some propaganda news, it was also they apologized later on. But again, I'll reply to ma'am. Media plays a very important role in shaping your narrative, what kind of narrative you would want to build. Whether it's a left narrative, a right narrative, a center narrative, it plays a very important role. How you want to present stories, and since ma'am has been a journalist, so she knows that when you're, like she said, yes, when you're on the shoes, when you're wearing that shoes and when you're on ground, when you have that ID with yourself, the mic ID, your responsibility doubles it, because what you say will be a narrative that people will put forward at that point of time. They might even blindly believe it, what is going on at that point of time, because they might think, oh, this is a national media, this is a TV, how can a TV be wrong? But yes, we are wrong many a times, but again, we need to be very responsible. Rather, I would say I was covering Operation Sindoor, and I take the full responsibility. Whatever we've covered, whatever I've covered, I was on ground, I was covering war, and I was very responsible in the reporting that I was doing, the interviews I was doing, the verification I was doing. We were all right. We did not go for a lot of...
How did you fact check? Was there any particular tools that you follow in general for fact checking, for getting your informations right? Or it is just checking through sources?
Yeah. So at that point of time, when you're covering war, you actually get a lot of news flow from every part of your life. Every source, every reporter comes with some news that, oh, this has happened, that has happened, this has happened. So there is a lot of influx that comes to you. Now what you do at that point of time, the best way to verify is to send it. Suppose if I get a news that we've attacked this place or we've attacked that place, and we need to verify it, you directly go to the army. You talk to the army. There are army PROs that are there, the defense PROs that are there, who looks after media. Because they are the ones they're fighting the war, they are there on ground, they are the frontliners, as you put it. So you verify it with them. If they say yes, it is a verified news, then only you put it on air. If there's no point doing source-based information at that point of time when things are that sensitive. Anything you do it, the enemy side can take it and they can alter it and put it in a way that was not even presented. There were many, the CDS also gave an interview just a while back. It was also presented in a different way where he was saying something else. So that time, the defense public relation officer plays a very important role in verifying the news. You give the news, suppose you get the news that this is this, you give it to the PRO confirms it, yes, it is confirmed, then only you air. Because it's a responsibility that you take as a reporter, like you said also, ma'am.
Yes.
We are the fourth pillar of democracy. Yeah. Our narratives are
very important. They are very important. It influences life. And apart from Operation Sindoor, Bryan, if you could just tell all the students who are listening to you, that what are the important assignments that you've covered till now as a principal correspondent or just as a journalist?
I think I was very fortunate enough with the news channel that I'm working. They've given me a lot of opportunities. I covered Operation Sindoor, that is one of the most important ones. I covered the Russia-Ukraine war. I covered. There was a earthquake that happened in Thailand, Bangkok, Burma, which is a big earthquake that happened. A lot of people lost their lives. I was there. I covered. I went to Mumbai to cover Tahavur Rana, who is also the mastermind behind the 26/11 and many major bomb blasts itself. I covered his story. I was in Mumbai also. There were many such. There was Yamuna flood. There was a lot of stories that we got the opportunity. So when you're on field, you have to cover everything. Even if you have my beat is defense and Ministry of External Affairs, I'm not restricted to that. I've covered. You have to cover everything. And same goes for Hemraj also. If he's just looking after political or sports, he needs to cover entertainment also. He needs to cover page 3 also. He needs to cover every aspect that goes on, because the industry is that. You need to be in all venues and all avenues. You have to report whatever is coming, irrespective of your beat. You have to cover everything.
And Hemraj, जैसे तुम लोग जब एडिटिंग करते हो अभी वहाँ पे, तो ये एडिटिंग जब आपके टेबल पे फुटेज आता है तो आप उसी टाइम एडिट जब करते हो, तो एक जो स्टूडेंट सुन रहा है या कुछ भी सुन रहा है, उसका बैक कैसा एक प्रिपरेशन होना चाहिए, और क्या क्या तुम अभी एडिट करते हो? लाइक स्टोरीज करते हो, रील्स करते हो, मतलब कैसा कंटेंट आप एडिट करते हो?
मैम हम लोगों का कोई ऐसा ये नहीं रहता कि आपको सिर्फ पैकेजेस करना या फिर ये छोटा सा ये मतलब पैकेजेस छोटा मतलब छोटा बाइट्स या छोटा चंक्स के काटना, यह सब नहीं होता। मतलब हम लोगों को सारा चीज़ करना होता है। कभी कभी रील्स काटना होता है, कभी कभी शॉर्ट्स काटना होता है, कभी पैकेजेस आ जाता है। तो सबसे ज़्यादा दिक्कत कहाँ पे होती है, मतलब मैं दिक्कत नहीं बोलूँगा, चैलेंजेस जो फेस करना होता है, तो वो सबसे ज़्यादा चैलेंज मुझे पैकेजेस में फेस करना होता है। क्योंकि कभी कभी क्या होता है, जो एक्सप्लेन पैकेजेस होते हैं, जो नॉर्मल पैकेजेस होते हैं, जो अर्जेंसी में जाते हैं, उनमें आपको कुछ नहीं करना होता है। जो आता है उसको आप बस थोड़ा सा देख लेना होता है कि ठीक ठाक है, साउंड वगैरह ठीक ठाक है, विजुअल्स वगैरह कहीं पे ब्लर करना है। जैसे बहुत सारे अभी हम लोगों का रिसेंट सब कुछ चल रहा है जिसमें क्राइम्स ये केसेस ज़्यादा आ रहे हैं, तो उसमें कौन सा किस पर्सन का चेहरा ब्लर करना है। हम लोग ब्लर नहीं, मतलब चेहरा दिखा नहीं सकते, हम लोग फेसेस नहीं दिखा सकते, जो विक्टिम है उसका आइडेंटिटी नहीं रिवील नहीं कर सकते,
मीडिया लॉज
तो
नहीं दिखा सकते।
हाँ, तो उसको हम लोगों को देखना पड़ता है कि किस टाइम पे वो लोग आ रहे हैं, उसको हम लोग को ब्लर करना है। और जैसे कि मैं एक न्यूज़ पोर्टल में काम करता हूँ, तो वहाँ पे यूट्यूब का बहुत सारे रेस्ट्रिक्शंस होते हैं कि आप फायर नहीं दिखा सकते, आप ब्लड नहीं दिखा सकते। तो उसके लिए हम लोग को बहुत ज़्यादा मतलब सेंसिटिव रहना पड़ता है कि कौन सा चीज़ ऑन एयर जाएगा, कौन सा चीज़ नहीं जाएगा। और मतलब ऐसा बहुत टाइम पे होता है कि आके एडिटर चेक करते हैं, प्रोड्यूसर्स चेक करते हैं पैकेजेस, तो उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं होता। लेकिन सबसे ज़्यादा जब दिक्कत होता है, जो अर्जेंसी में जाना होता है, एकदम से आया डेस्क पे हम लोगों को बोला जाता है ये करना है, हाँ, जो ब्रेकिंग न्यूज़ होता है, तो उस टाइम पे हम लोग को प्रोड्यूसर के पास टाइम नहीं होता कि वो आके चेक करे, वो पूरा चीज़ हम लोग के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है।
तो यही
तो
मैंने
हम लोग उसमें गलती नहीं कर सकते।
एडिटर सिर्फ प्रोडक्शन 4 कट मारने का नहीं है, एडिटर एक प्रोड्यूसर भी है, उसका एक जर्नलिस्टिक थॉट।
ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आपको न्यूज़ समझना पड़ेगा, कौन सा न्यूज़ को किस एंगल, मतलब प्रोड्यूसर एक एंगल से दे रहा है, लेकिन अगर मैं उस एंगल में अगर नहीं चला तो उस न्यूज़ का कुछ और ही एंगल निकल सकता है, तो उसका अलग नैरेटिव चला जाएगा। जैसे ब्रायन ने अभी कहा कि मीडिया एक नैरेटिव सेट करता है, तो वो हम लोग को देखना पड़ता है कि हम लोग किस तरह से उसको ये कर रहे हैं, दिखा रहे हैं। और सबसे ज़्यादा चैलेंज मुझे पर्सनली फेस करना होता है, जो क्राइम केसेस होते हैं, वहाँ पे हम लोग एक्चुअल विजुअल्स नहीं यूज़ कर सकते, हम लोग विक्टिम का ये नहीं यूज कर सकते। तो वहां पे हम लोग को रिप्रेजेंटेटिव कौन सा इमेज लगाना है, नहीं लगाना है, वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। तो वो हम लोग को कभी कभी अर्जेंसी में जो होता है, सबसे ज्यादा दिक्कत अर्जेंसी में ही होता है, क्योंकि वहां पे आपको प्रोड्यूसर आके बोल नहीं पाता है कि आप क्या करना है, नहीं करना है। वो आपके पास होता है, आपके पास मैक्स टू मैक्स 5 से 10 मिनट होता है, 5 से 10 मिनट आपको पूरा सब कुछ रेडी करके आपको लाइव टीम को देना है। तो वो चैलेंज होता है मेरे लिए। और एक्सप्लेन जो पैकेजेस होते हैं, उसमें आपके पास टाइम रहता है, आप उसमें अपना क्रिएटिविटी दिखा सकते हैं, आपको क्या क्या यूज़ करना है, नहीं करना है, वो आपके ऊपर रहता है। तो सबसे ज़्यादा दिक्कत मतलब चैलेंज जो फेस करना है, चैलेंज आपको ब्रेकिंग न्यूज़ में फेस करना होगा। वो आपको अगर टाइम से नहीं दे पाएंगे तो फिर आपको
तो फिर
स्टोरी निकल जाएगा, तो फिर आपका ये उस न्यूज़ का कोई वैल्यू ही नहीं रहेगा। तो ब्रेकिंग न्यूज़ के लिए टाइम बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। हाँ,
और आप लोग क्या सॉफ्टवेयर यूज करते हैं?
मैं अभी प्रेजेंटली एडिटिंग के लिए सॉफ्टवेयर यूज़ करता हूँ, एडोब प्रीमियर प्रो, एंड ग्राफिक्स के लिए फोटोशॉप यूज़ करना होता है, आफ्टर इफेक्ट्स यूज़ करता हूँ मैं, एंड बहुत सारे छोटे मोटे जो ग्राफिक्स होते हैं जो आपको इजीली नहीं मिल पाते, उसके लिए आप कैनवा यूज़ कर सकते हैं। तो ये है। एंड बाकी
हेमराज, तुमको क्या लगता है जो तुम्हारा यहाँ ट्रेनिंग हम लोगों ने जैसे भी whatever aspect we gave it to you, did that help you in the industry?
हाँ मैम, मैं तो कहूँगा यही कि मुझे बहुत हेल्प किया है वो, क्योंकि SNU अगर नहीं होता तो मैं ये सब कुछ मतलब मैंने पहले ही कहा कि मैं बहुत कंफ्यूज्ड था कि मुझे करना क्या है। तो SNU में आके मुझे वो चीज़ पता चला है कि क्या करना है। एंड SNU के जो प्रोफेसर्स हैं, आप हैं, अपना मासी सर हैं, बहुत सारे प्रोफेसर्स हैं यहाँ पे जो मुझे बहुत अच्छे से गाइड किए हैं कि कहाँ पे गलती हो रहा है, नहीं हो रहा है। हम लोग जैसे कॉलेज में थे तो क्लासेस होता था, क्लासेस 3 बजे से 4 बजे तक खत्म हो जाता था, उसके बाद हम लोग बैठते थे, हम लोग काम करते थे। ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई प्रोड्यूसर कोई प्रोफेसर आके बोल रहा है कि क्लासेस खत्म हो गए चले जाओ, नहीं। यहाँ पे जो प्रोफेसर्स हैं वो लोग बहुत हेल्पफुल हैं। आपको कहीं पे भी कुछ भी दिक्कत हो रहा है, कुछ भी चैलेंज फेस कर रहे हैं, आप डायरेक्टली जाके बोल सकते हैं। ऐसा कोई ये नहीं है कि आपको वेट करना होगा, ये करना होगा, लेकिन आप डायरेक्टली जाके बोल सकते हैं कि सर मुझे ये प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, तो सर आपको वहीं पे आपको सिखा दिया जाएगा। तो ये चीज़ बहुत हेल्प किया है।
और मैं I'll ask both of you that I'll start with Brian and then Hemraj. How much AI is a part of your life right now? How effectively are you using? And to all the viewers, how safely you should use AI, because we are talking about it so much that AI is going to overtake, AI will do everything. So what is your take on that when you're on ground as a journalist?
Honestly, artificial intelligence is very much here. I mean, it's here to stay, and it shapes your overall world, your narrative, how you present your views. Again, to the fact, if I talk about myself, I use it a lot. Normally I use Gemini and I use ChatGPT. To the fact, I use it to script if there's an interview that I feel okay, I do not have much idea about that very narrative, that very story, because it's not humanly possible to have information about every story, because we have to do space stories, we have to do on ground stories. There are many stories that we need to focus on, so it's not possible to have in-depth idea about everything. So I take the help of ChatGPT to make scripts in a way that it is crispier. For interview also I use it sometimes, in the sense to make a questionnaire, a brief questionnaire. Suppose if there is a person who I am not very aware of, because we need to interview all kinds of people, all prospects of people, not just the CM, not just the union minister, but many other people also that we might not have much idea about. Or even if you go to Google or you search Wikipedia, you might not have much information about it. There is a brief and then we have to focus on that. So I use ChatGPT. I used to tweak my questions. If I have some basic questions, I put it out to the ChatGPT, and the ChatGPT gives me the response in a way. Then I again tweak it in my own way that it doesn't look very artificial. Again, AI also, ma'am, very much plays a very important role in how you use it.
That is what I want.
Because there are deepfakes also that is there. There are many channels who use AI anchors also. We use AI for voiceovers itself, but it depends on how we use it.
And how the prompt has to be very.
Yeah.
You have to know how to prompt the.
Yeah. Again, it's very important. The prompt plays a very important role also. What you have to be very accurate about the keywords that you put. That gives you the response you wanted. And again, the fair use is very important. How you use it, you need to use it in a way that it doesn't harm anyone, it does not put a bad image on anyone, and it serves your purpose also, and it's in a positive light.
And Hemraj, in your creative journey of as an editor or क्रिएटर, कितना AI आप यूज़ करते हो और क्या क्या AI प्लेटफॉर्म यूज़ करते हो, तो स्टूडेंट्स को भी पता चलेगा।
हाँ मैम, मतलब मैंने थोड़ी देर पहले बोला कि क्राइम स्टोरीज़ में आप विजुअल्स नहीं यूज़ कर सकते, तो उस टाइम पे AI बहुत ज़्यादा काम आता है। मैं पर्सनली मेटा AI बहुत ज़्यादा यूज़ करता हूँ, क्योंकि मेटा AI को आप मतलब अगर प्रॉम्प्ट देते हैं ठीक ठाक, तो वो आपको एग्जैक्ट वही इमेज आपको बना के दे सकता है जो आप यूज़ भी कर सकते हैं, एंड उसमें कोई रेस्ट्रिक्शन भी नहीं है। तो आप वो और उससे विक्टिम का, या फिर मतलब अगर जैसे कुछ दिन पहले ऑपरेशन सिंदूर हुआ, तो वहाँ पे हम लोग एग्जैक्ट फुटेज नहीं मिल पा रहा था हम लोग को कि कहाँ कैसे एयरफोर्स जाके वहाँ पे अटैक किया नहीं किया, तो उसका हम लोगों को विजुअली अगर दिखाना है तो वो AI बहुत ज़्यादा काम आता है। आपको AI जनरेटेड इमेजेस मिल जाते हैं, AI जनरेटेड वीडियोस मिल जाते हैं। तो मैं पर्सनली मेटा AI यूज़ करता हूँ, चैट GPT यूज़ करता हूँ एंड जेमिनाई भी यूज़ करता हूँ। एंड हम लोगों का और एक AI है जिसके लिए जो हम लोग वॉइस ओवर के लिए यूज़ करते हैं। तो वॉइस आपके पास AI का जो वॉइस ओवर है वो आपको मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा हेल्प करता है, क्योंकि वहाँ पे आपको टाइम नहीं लगता, आपको पैकेजेस काटने में टाइम नहीं लगता। जैसे एंकर होता है वहाँ पे थोड़े बहुत पैचेस होते हैं, वो बहुत ऑब्वियस है कि कोई बिना पैचेस के नहीं कर सकता, ये ह्यूमन नेचर है। और AI के लिए ये चीज़ नहीं है, आपके पास रहता है, आपके पास बहुत कम टाइम रहता है, आप AI से करवा दो। AI में आपको पता है कि यहाँ पे कोई पैच नहीं है, आप डिलीट काट दो, एकदम आपके पास स्मूथली जाएगा।
मतलब अगर आप मतलब वॉइस ओवर कर रहे हो तो हम लोग वॉइस ओवर को एडिट करते हैं क्योंकि फंबल करते हैं, ये करते हैं, तो कहने का मतलब वो पैच होता है। तो अगर आप AI को दे दो, स्मूथ वॉइस ओवर जनरेट होता है, आप उसको एज इट इज प्लेस कर
सकते हैं और उसमें टाइम कम लगता है। एंड न्यूज में तो ये है मैम कि
और आप कुछ मतलब क्रिएटिव डिजाइन के लिए कुछ कोई AI प्लेटफॉर्म यूज करते हो एडिटिंग के लिए, शॉर्ट्स के लिए या रील्स के लिए?
मैम मैं मेटा AI बहुत ज़्यादा यूज़ करता हूँ इसके लिए, क्योंकि मेटा AI आपको अगर आप जो प्रॉम्प्ट दे रहे हैं वो प्रॉम्प्ट आपको एग्जैक्ट वही इमेज बना के मेटा AI दे सकता है। एंड मेटा AI सबसे बड़ा एडवांटेज मेटा AI का ये है कि वो फ्री है। एंड चैट GPT फ्री नहीं है आपके लिए, वो चार्ज करता है एक चीज़, आप एक लिमिट तक वो कर सकते हैं, उसके बाद आपके मतलब रेस्ट्रिक्शन लगा देता है कि आप इसके बाद नहीं कर सकते। एंड चैट GPT बहुत टाइम पे ऐसा होता है कि आप प्रॉम्प्ट दे रहे हैं लेकिन वो एग्जैक्ट समझ नहीं पा रहा है कि उसको देना क्या है, मुझे क्या चाहिए वो नहीं समझ पा रहा है।
दैट इज व्हाट आई सेड, दैट प्रॉम्प्ट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, दैट हाउ। सो आई विल जस्ट एंड द कन्वर्सेशन विद asking that I know you both keep coming to our campus, but do you still feel the nostalgia that you were a student here and you come back and you find the same hustle bustle, Minal ma'am is screaming in the same way, Namashi sir is in the same way working on so many other things, so getting back that nostalgia, does it hit you sometime, both of you? I'll just ask.
It always hits when you come, even though when me and Hemraj have come today, when we see the place has changed drastically, the people are always the same. I mean, the people are the ones that is only constant beings. The characteristics, the person how it is, Minal ma'am in her own cabin sitting there looking at us. When we just enter, she gets a glimpse of us that, oh, we are here. Namashi sir sitting in his own setup, doing something or the other. Kishore sir always behind the camera. So even though the place has drastically changed, the Mac lab has changed, the studio, the PCR, so many, when we've come today also, we've seen so much of difference. And I was telling Hemraj myself that things have changed. Yeah. But then when we see the people, they've not changed. They are always the same, how they were before, how warm they are, how greeting they are, and how proud they are of us. Absolutely. And I'm also very, and it feels very nice when you see the people you used to look up, people who were your admiration at one point of time, people you used to admire, to the fact when you used to see them when you were students, that, oh, I want to be that person, I want to be that very person, I want to have that. Minal ma'am has set an example. We still are in the taboo that, oh, women playing such an important role, but she being and again, there is no male and female here, but again, to the fact of women leading a team of all men and standing so upright, it's an inspiration that we've always looked after. And when we see that, oh, we are getting to sit with her and she's asking us questions, it's something that it's an honor for us also. And I feel very privileged to be here, even though yes, the place has changed again, the people are always the same, they're constant that
and क्या हेमराज?
मैम मेरा भी सेम एक्सपीरियंस है, हम लोग आ रहे थे तो वही हम लोग देख रहे थे कि बहुत कुछ चेंज हो गया है, वहाँ बहुत सारे नए स्टूडेंट्स आए हैं, वो लोग सीख रहे हैं, पढ़ रहे हैं। लेकिन मतलब मैं जब यहाँ पे आया, नवासी सर थे, किशोर सर थे, आप थे, मुझे तो सबसे अच्छा चीज़ यही लगा कि मैं जैसे एंटर किया हूँ, मैंने आपको देखा, आपने जिस तरह से मुझे ग्रीट किया वो मुझे मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा हिट किया कि आज से मतलब हाँ मतलब ग्रेजुएशन के पहले जिस तरह से आप हम लोगों को ग्रीट करते थे, जिस तरह से हम लोग को प्यार करते थे, आज भी वही चीज है, तो वो बहुत ज्यादा हिट करता है।
And I just want to update you that अभी we are coming up with more skill based labs, so we are coming with SAP lab, We are coming up with Salesforce Lab. We are coming with Coursera. We are coming with Apple Certified Lab. So yes, we've grown. We've grown a lot,
yes,
and
college is
I
great.
think you people have only told us that it's time for us to grow because media is changing.
Yeah.
It has become very skill based.
Yeah.
You cannot have that standardized kind of journalism where it was just script writing, editing, voiceover. I think the whole dynamics have changed. So we just wish that you keep telling us how to grow further. In fact, it should be the other way around, that you guide us. You
Yeah.
both, students like you guide us that how we should grow further. So this is all from our end, from three of us. Stay tuned for more.